Who are you?
Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. I don't wanna miss it when you hit that high. Wake me up before you go. 'Cause I'm not planning on going
So we are talking about the movie The Wake, a 2017 low-budget horror movie with its finger in many pies. What do I mean by that? Well, the influences of other horror genres and films all throughout this film. We've got evidence of kind of home invasion films like The Strangers. We've got influences from I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's kind of Satanic movie influences. This movie has a whole bunch of things going on. So what's the story about? Well, we have 5 young people attending a wake of a young boy who was tragically killed in a car accident. Now, these people are actually attending the wake, or that people actually responsible for killing him. One of them was driving and drink driving and just accidentally killed him. And they're there basically just to kind of like pay their respects. I'm led to believe in this film that the mother, the parents, don't actually know that they're the people who were actually responsible, but it doesn't make it abundantly clear if that's the case or not, because there is a line towards the end, or a couple of lines towards the end, where it makes it sound like they did know, but it's never really addressed. But anyway, they're there kind of paying their respects and this weird wake, and then they kind of act inappropriately. They're kind of, one of them asks another one to marry them and things like that. It seems like a weird thing to do at a wake, but there you go. Anyway, it turns out they all kind of wake up all of a sudden and they've been tied to chairs. They've all been drugged, obviously, and there seems to be a masked killer in the house. So yeah, now it turns into a kind of a slasher film. And obviously they find out that the mother has been sort of tied up as well. And they're trying to find out what's going on. And then we find out other things are happening in the movie as well. So that's all I'll go with the synopsis. You'll have to watch the movie to find out what happens. So this one is directed by Fauzi Barami and Brian Brewer, both who have writing credits and actually star in this film. So it does seem to be quite a small kind of production here. And that is the name of the game with this one, I feel. It's a very, very low budget film, and because of that has some of the constraints of a low budget film, which we'll come on to right now. So we'll talk about the positives and negatives first of all. Positives for me, first of all, I did like that it does kind of snake between kind of horror genres and sort of touch on a number of different bases. You never quite know what's going on, and it does take subvert your expectations in some degree and kind of, take you on maybe paths that you didn't expect it to quite go down, and really taps into all sorts of things: slashers, supernatural elements, Satanism, home invasion. It's all there basically. Revenge killing, it's everything. It has all these kind of like elements to it to make up the whole film. And I've got to say, I did quite like the kind of the lead female actress here, who plays kind of one of the basically the young people who caused this kid's death. She was quite a good actress. I quite liked her performance here. And it's fairly well shot, I've got to say. All the lighting, all the camera work and all that was to a good standard. However, that being said, it does feel like a TV episode. The camera work here is very kind of tight on kind of close-ups. It's all kind of shot in this one interior house, so it feels like it's more of a TV episode of something, or a kind of a TV like true crime thing, rather than a film. So it doesn't feel particularly cinematic. I don't know if the people who made this have more of kind of TV credits than film credits, but it definitely has that TV vibe. And the budget here is just super low, and it kind of permeates in pretty much everything in regards to the acting. It seems like there's not many takes have been made. There seems to have, the actors don't seem particularly confident in their roles, and their line reading for the most part, although not everyone, does seem pretty unconvincing at times and kind of very kind of stilted in others. So I didn't think the acting was fantastic, and there just quite a few logic issues here that just think, why wouldn't you do this? And it does make attempts to be somewhat meta, which I did appreciate. I mean, obviously this is made by people who have seen horror films, and they kind of do address the fact that obviously there are certain tropes that happen in horror films, and I appreciated the attempts to kind of subvert them. It doesn't go as far as maybe like things like Scream or Cabin in the Woods, but there is an attempt here at making it somewhat meta and trying to kind of combat the kind of the typical tropes that you see in horror films, but nonetheless it does kind of fall in with them as well. I have to say, the way it does, even though I did quite like the fact that it kind of touched on a number of different kind of subgenres, I felt what it ended on was quite weak. It really seemed to be more of an afterthought than anything else, to be honest with you. And that I think it would have been better maybe going a different direction, shall we say, without sort of spoiling everything. At its core, though, it's more of a kind of just a talky film. Like I said, this is more like, it feels like that kind of TV film where you just have these kind of people talking in rooms, and you have the close up of the shot, close up of the faces and stuff like that, which doesn't make it particularly interesting. Overall, it wasn't a bad attempt for a kind of low budget film. I did like some of the elements here. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me comments, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.